It's January 12th, 2020. Um, it's been pretty cold here in Seattle, and it's expected to snow a lot this week. Let's start the update over here with the lavender. You can see it's looking about the same. Lots of dead leaves. Rosemary is still flowering. You can see a lot of new flower buds coming out, and this beautiful opened flowers. And let's focus on things that has changed. This guy over here, the hydrangea, you can see the stem is getting browner. And here's the summer snowflakes. Looks about the same as last week, but I think they're just gradually getting taller. Down here we have the Persian pearl tulips. You can see the sprout is getting a lot taller now. Let's also look at the tulips. You can see tulips are coming out nicely. And the blueberry, you can see some of the buds are opening. Yeah. Over here we have the grape hyacinth. The new leaves are coming out nicely. Strawberries looks pretty much the same. Probably not going to talk about it next week. And then here we have the catnips. You can see the older plants are dying back, and then the newer plants is sprouting nicely. And the bulb plants, this is the hyacinth. You can see the flowers forming nicely, and there's a lot more buds. Crocus is coming out very nicely too. And this is the one that's store dried. It's catching up. Snowdrops aren't doing too well, but I can see some new sprouts on this side. Daffodils looks pretty much the same, just getting taller. And artichoke, it's still sending out new leaves, so yeah. For the indoor garden, this elephant food plants is still dropping leaves. You can see this stem is really bare. There's pretty much no leaves on that stem. And then this succulent's new plants are coming out nicely. And over here we have the orchids. The dendrobium flowers has opened. You can see the beautiful white flowers. I'll give you a closer look. You can see some little purple spots in the center. And this other dendrobium is also flowering, just one flower though. And also some new growth from the base right here. And when I was watering the plants, there's another growth. Unfortunately, I also broke the stem because I was trying to rescue it. And the Venus slipper orchids are doing well too. The new growths are getting bigger. The mini oncidium flowers has faded. You can see this flower stalk has dried, but here's some more flowers coming out. And this other mini oncidium is also doing the same thing. You can see this older flower stalk has dried, but then there's some new flowers, smaller stalks though, like right here. This one is cute, only 3 flowers. Another Venus sleeper orchid. You can see the new growth is coming out nicely. On this side too. And then here we have some other orchids. You can see this tiny new growth from the side. And also this guy is sending out a new growth too on the side, right there. Over here, this orchid is doing pretty well. And the frizzle sizzle is messy still. And here's the succulents. Most of them are doing really well, and there's some new growth, and the etiolation is still pretty bad on those. The petal plants, actually the baby plants has separated from the main plants, as you can see. It's not really rooting in the soil. So like this one over here, if I pull it out, so you can see there's no roots. I'm gonna repot these. spider plants is doing very well as usual. Lots of new growths. Over here is the Hoya plant. There's not too much to talk about, just some new leaves. And the pear plants, you can see the new growth is taking over the older growths. And lastly, we have the staghorn fern. The little shield frond is still very little, but it's going to get bigger.